Dive into the ultimate Bible quiz challenge. Join us for an exciting quiz that will put your biblical knowledge to the test. Get ready for a fun and educational journey through the scriptures. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Question 1. Who was the youngest son of Jesse anointed by Samuel to be king? The answer is David. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up, and went to Ramah. 1 Samuel 16 verses 12 to 13. Question 2. In the book of Revelation, what are the followers of Christ marked with on their foreheads? The answer is the name of God, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. Revelation 22 verse 4. Question 3. Who was the first disciple to confess Jesus as the Christ? The answer is Peter, and Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Matthew 16 verse 16. Question 4. Who supported Moses' hands when he grew weary? The answer is Aaron and Hur, but Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone, and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. Exodus 17 verse 12. Question 5. What was the first thing that God called good after creating it? The answer is light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Genesis 1 verse 4. Question 6. Who was the prophet that confronted the wicked King Ahab and Queen Jezebel? The answer is Elijah. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou, and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim. 1 Kings 18 verse 18. Question 7. Where did Jesus ascend into heaven in the presence of his disciples? The answer is Mount of Olives, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Then returned they unto Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey. Acts 1 verses 9 to 12. Question 8. What color was the thread Rahab tied in her window? The answer is scarlet, and before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. Joshua 2 verse 8. Question 9. Who was the leader of the Jewish people during the Exodus from Egypt? The answer is Moses, and Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord, and his servant Moses. Exodus 14 verse 31. Question 10. What did David instruct Solomon regarding Job? The answer is, to not let his head go down to the grave in peace, do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his hoar head go down to the grave in peace. 1 Kings 2 verse 6. Question 11. What gift did the Queen of Sheba bring to King Solomon? The answer is spices, gold, and precious stones. She came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels bearing spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she came to Solomon, she told him all that was on her mind. 1 Kings 10 verse 2. Question 12. When Jesus was 12, how many days did Mary and Joseph search for him in Jerusalem before finding him in the temple? The answer is 3. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. Luke 2 verse 46. Question 13. In Paul's letters, which group is described as having a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge? The answer is the Israelites, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Romans 10 verse 2. Question 14. What does the word Rabbi mean in the Bible? The answer is teacher. Then Jesus turned, and saw them following, and saith unto them, What seek ye? They said unto him, Rabbi, which is to say, being interpreted, Master, where dwellest thou? John 1 verse 38. Question 15. Who was the only female judge of Israel? The answer is Deborah, and Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. Judges for verse 4. Question 16. What did King David do with the lion and the bear that he encountered while tending his father's sheep? The answer is, killed them. And David said unto Saul, Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock, and I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth, and when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. 1 Samuel 17 verses 34 to 35. Question 17. Who helped Moses speak to Pharaoh because Moses was slow of speech? The answer is Aaron, and thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. Exodus for verse 15. Question 18. Who helped Moses hold up his hands during the battle against the Amalekites? The answer is Aaron and Hur, but Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone, and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. Exodus 17 verse 12. Question 19. What did Esther request before approaching King Xerxes without an invitation? The answer is fasting and prayer. Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. And my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. Esther for verse 16. Question 20. How many plagues did God send on Egypt before the Israelites were liberated? The answer is 10. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he, and all his servants, and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. Exodus 12 verse 30. Question 21. What did the angel say to the women at the tomb? The answer is, do not be afraid. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay. And go quickly, and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and, behold, he goeth before you into Galilee, there shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. Matthew 28 verses 5 to 7. Question 22. What did the Lord declare would remain forever according to his covenant with David? The answer is, the throne of his kingdom, and thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee, thy throne shall be established forever. 2 Samuel 7 verse 16. Question 23. Who was delivered from 7 demons and followed Jesus? The answer is Mary Magdalene. Now when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. Mark 16 verse 9. Question 24. Who was Paul speaking to when he said, I have become all things to all people? The answer is the Corinthians. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. 1 Corinthians 9 verse 22. Dive into the ultimate Bible quiz challenge. Join us for an exciting quiz that will put your biblical knowledge to the test. Get ready for a fun and educational journey through the scriptures. Don't forget to subscribe for more.